let's begin this frugal weekend with a budget overview for July, because I didn't get to do that in my August reset routine, and very sadly, it has been my highest spending month this year so far, and that is because it is rates month. So utilities was my largest category at $2,763, and that included my rates, my electricity, my internet, and my phone bill for the month. But I like to pay my rates in just like one installment. You can pay them across the year in 4 installments, but I just like to get it done and then not have to think about it for a whole year. So that was my largest one. My second largest one was shopping, and that is because I had to buy this new camera that you are watching me on. I had been putting off for years upgrading my camera, but then when my old one broke, sadly, it was necessary for me to purchase a camera if I wanted to continue on doing YouTube. So in addition to my camera, I did buy a few books for Christmas and off my wish list, and then I also purchased some magazines and some things from the thrift shop. So in terms of like keeping it low buy, it wasn't a great month for me, and that totaled $1,000. Obviously my camera was the largest sum of that. Groceries, not bad at $941. I do like to keep my monthly groceries under $1,000. I mean, if I could get that even closer to the 900 or under the 900, that would be fantastic. But I feel like still just even in the 900s is pretty good. We have had some big grocery weeks over the month of July. Then I did get out some money in cash. I bought some new skincare from my friend's small business, and I paid her in cash for that. For health and medical, I spent $81. So that's like different things at the pharmacy in terms of skincare for Hunter and his eczema, Panadol, my script, etc. Home, we've got one transaction at $57, and that was from one of my favorite locations, Bunnings, where I bought some new plants and soil, etc. for the yard. Eating out and takeaway was only $26, so I feel really good about that. There have been some months earlier on in the year where that category was up to like 80, 90, etc. dollars. So to get it down so low is really good, and to get home down so low as well is pretty good as well. And then $10 for gifts and donations. So obviously there are some things in those categories such as my camera and the rates that are complete anomalies, but other categories where I feel like there is still room to decrease and refine my goals for spending in those categories even further. And I'm going to talk about my financial goals for the remainder of 2025 at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned and stick around for that. And then with that being said, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into this frugal weekend. Winter is a natural time for slowing down, and for me, that slowing down extends to how I spend money too. In today's video, I'm sharing what my low buy winter looks like, how I'm simplifying, spending more intentionally, and embracing frugal living in a way that still feels cozy and abundant. Lately, I've been craving less clutter, less decision fatigue, less mindless spending, and winter feels like the perfect season to reset. I'm not putting pressure on myself into not buying anything. This is more about being thoughtful with what I choose to bring into my life. you are doing a low buy also, or just trying to spend more intentionally this season, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you're choosing not to buy right now, or one cozy free thing that's making your winter more romantic?
Put it all back together.
As you saw this morning, we headed down to the library because it is a very dreary day and it was kind of the only place that we could get out and about to. And then went up to my parents' house to hang out with my sister and have a cuppa by the nice warm fire. But I did a thing, and that is borrow a large amount of books despite the fact that I already am currently reading maybe about 5. So I've got a lot on my plate for this month, and fingers crossed I'll be able to actually get through them all.
Yeah, you like that.
Being that it's the end of our food shopping week, Dave and I truly needed to use our brain power to come up with an idea for dinner, but we have some tuna. We have some tuna bake mix along with some corn, some pasta, and some onions. So it's gonna be a pasta bake for us tonight. I'm briefly interrupting our frugal weekend to show you some things that I picked up recently from the church op shop. I went there looking for a cardigan. I would really like a lightweight cardigan in either a neutral or like light blue color. I just think that that's an essential for me, especially in weather where it's not like super cold and you just want light to put on over the top. I wasn't successful in finding that. However, I did find 2 tops. I got this blue striped one. If you are not new around here, you know I like a striped number. It's from Just Jeans as well. And I think that that was maybe like $3 or $4. And then I also picked up this lovely patterned one. I don't know the brand. It's called 7 Wonders. I think it must be like a boutique brand. And they're really lovely. I like that they're long sleeves. They'll be perfect for sort of that in-between weather as well. And then Hunter came out with this red car, and it was $2, but the lady ended up giving it to us for free. So score with that. Can't say no to something free. And then I grabbed this Peter Rabbit book, and it's actually a 2-in-1. I think that was maybe $1. I took the tag off it. I got this Harry Potter coloring book for $2, and then this cute Relax with Art Holiday Special, Bygones, Colouring Journey Back in Time, and that was $1.50. And then my main score, when I walked in, I saw these straight away and I was just like, wowzers. I got this artwork. This was a bit more expensive. This was $4. And the frame is like a bit weird, but I just love the picture in it. It kind of reminds me of a Cotswold scene. And then this one is just the vibe that I've got going on around my house at the moment. And this one was $2. I love the frame. I love the colors of the artwork. I feel like it would look really nice on my desk in here or even on my bookshelf, but I'm sure that there are plenty of options to where I can style those. So altogether it came to $20, which is an absolute bargain for everything I've got. But I talked in my recent low buy video that for me, shopping in person is a trigger for impulse spending, and going to the op shop is a trigger because I find so many things there that are unique and cheap. And yeah, clearly I did not listen to my warning, did not heed my warning, and I went there today and there was just so many good things, honestly. So tell me in the comments below, do I just need to avoid the op shop altogether if I want to be anywhere near successful in the second half of the year for my low buy year? Yes, I am decreasing my spending, but I'm also still buying things. I can rationalize it. I will try and rationalize it, but you guys talk some sense into me into the comments and let me know what your take on things is. Let's get back into my frugal weekend. Yesterday was a no spend day and it was very quiet and relaxing. Today, the sun's somewhat come out and we will be spending because Sundays is grocery shopping day. As usual, I'm going to be hitting up both Aldi for my main shop and then Woolies just for a few bits and pieces, and hopefully we can get it under the $200 mark, but I'll give you the total figure when we get home. So my Woolies shop ended up being $8 and my Aldi shop was $203. So a little bit over the $210 mark, but I'm just not sure how it ended up being so expensive because other than toilet paper, we didn't get any like usual household items, and other than like one thing of mince, we didn't get any meat. So I just think everything has gone up, and it means that we need to be like even more intentional and strategic about our meals, and we're like cutting down our meat consumption each week just to reduce our bill that way. But yeah, I think we're going to have to be more strategic about our fruit purchases and just buying things that are in season and are cheap and are on sale, because I bought a massive bunch of bananas, granted, but they cost me $11. So it is my turn to pack away all the groceries, and Dave, Hunter and Mac are going for a walk. In James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, among a myriad of other things, he suggests when starting a new habit, you need to make it easy. So in order to make my low buy easier as I move throughout the second half of the year, here are two principles that I've decided that I'm going to adopt. The first one is a bit of habit stacking. Every Monday I go into town with Hunter, and I'm going to use that habit that I already do to stack on going to the ATM, and I'm going to get $20 in cash out, and that is going to be my spending money for the week. I will use my card for things like groceries or other like necessary household expenses or things that are on my approved shopping list. But anything that I want for myself outside of that needs to come from my $20. So it is very easy for me to see where the money is and when it is running out. I can use that $20 for whatever I want. If I want to grab a coffee or hit up the used bookshop or the op shop or buy myself a new edition of Daphne's Diary, I need to sort of weigh up what I most want for the week and where my money is best spent. For instance, if I do buy that Daphne's Diary copy, that is about $16 and I don't really have much money left for the week. So I need to take that into consideration. Same with a coffee out of home. They're about $6 these days. So that's going to add up if I'm getting more than one per week. you did see my little op shop haul, and I managed to spend $20 at the op shop and get so many things. So it is possible to make that $20 go a long way, but it's also very easy to use it up quite quickly on those little like $5 or $7 expenses that add up over time. The second thing that I'm going to prioritize if I do choose to spend is to spend my money locally. Now, this is both a positive and a challenge. On the one hand, I'm investing my money into the local community and local businesses. But on the other hand, I'm also more likely to pay extra for whatever I'm going to buy. So for instance, I had just finished A Court of Thorns and Roses and I wanted to read the second book. I saw they had it at the library, but it was currently on loan. So I hit up our local bookshop. Now, checking out price comparisons. If I were to buy the second book, A Court of Mist and Fury, from either Big W or Kmart, it would cost me $12. But at our local bookshop, it was $22. $10 is like a big markup. I really needed to think about whether I wanted to purchase the book that much. And I decided no. What instead I was going to do was spend $2 and reserve the book at the local library. I'm still investing in my local community. I'm getting my rates money worth of the local library, but I'm choosing a more frugal option. But for me, I've decided that I don't want to give Jeff Bezos, is that his name, any more of my business. So I think Amazon Prime just needs to come to an end for me, and if there are books that I do want to purchase that the local library does not have in stock and I cannot seem to find at the op shops, I need to hit up my local bookshop and send my money their way. This is kind of attached to that, but really it could be a third principle, and that is I want to see if I can get things, one, for free by either borrowing them from the library, a family or a friend, or to see if I can get things secondhand. One of the key takeaways for me during this low buy so far has been that I have really enjoyed buying things secondhand and giving things a new life. It is very contrary to our capitalist economy, but it just makes me feel good about, continuing to pour love into an item and extend its lifetime. We have a heap of great op shops around here where I can pick up things for a fantastic price. So it's definitely saving me money in the long run. Obviously, if there is an item that I feel to be a need that I cannot source secondhand, what I'm going to do is put it on a wish list and leave it there for 30 days. And if it's still there at the end of the 30 days and it's still tugging on my heartstrings or in need in my life, then I will allow myself to purchase it new, or to ideally ask for it as a Christmas or birthday or some other present. These are my low buy goals, principles, if you will, for the remainder of the year, and hopefully they will help me to increase my motivation and discipline on my low buy. And they're perhaps things that you would like to try if you are either doing a low buy and need a bit of a pep up, or someone who just wants to save a little bit of money in general. If you liked this frugal weekend, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below. I upload new videos every single week. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.